Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome, guys. Chris James here from Oryx Consulting. Just wanted to, now that we have our AT7 here, the first one in Dubai, I just wanted to do some quick tutorials that we're always going to have on file should anyone need them in the future, okay? So the first one that we're going to start with, obviously, is the walk around of the machine itself. What would we typically be looking for when we first come to the machine of a morning, start of our shift, whenever that may be? So first of all, let's get the basics done. Oil and waters, okay? Come in here, guys. This is our hydraulic tank right here. Okay, right next to our engine control panel and our battery box with our battery isolator. Come in this side here and you will see the two sight glasses, okay? These two sight glasses, so long as we're halfway on that top sight glass, we are good to go. If you do not have it in the top sight glass, and it is in the bottom sight glass, it will need topping up, but again, just needs to make sure that you do have some oil in that top sight glass. While we're also here, let's take a look at everything else that we should be checking in this area. Right across here is our manual controls, or our manual override, for want of a better word, for our hydraulic system. Now bear in mind, these manual controls will only control the function of the slinger body itself, okay? It will not override the drive system of the tractor itself. That is only through the radio control. So while we're here, we just want to make sure that there's no debris, no major oil leaks or anything like this in and around these areas. And also take particular care with the emergency stops. There are 3 of them on this tractor. We just want to make sure that no one's been resting on them or bumped them or anything like that. Also, while we're here, we want to make sure that all of our taps are open and no one has done anything untoward during the night for us. Now, they are coming from the factory cable tied in the open position, but just something to bear in mind. The only one that should be off is the actual hydraulic drain itself, okay? That's the only one that should be in the off position. While we're here, we also want to check our battery isolator, make sure there's no damage to any of that. Hydraulic cooler, something very, very important to ensure that we have no debris, okay, that is blocking up the hydraulic cooler in any way. Check the front side and also check the back side to ensure that there's no issues with that at all. Again, we're just looking for basic leaks, no damage, nothing has been hit, all of our tyres are in good condition and no issues with that at all. Now we'll keep coming up. We've got our main electrical control panel up here. Again, there's an emergency stop on here. We just want to ensure that that's not in the off position at all as well. Taps, no damage to any of the electrical components. Now when we come around the front, one of the things I really like to do is check the adjustment of the belt. Now it's a very, very quick check, but what we're looking for, there you'll see the decal here, adjustment of the belt tension chain. What we're looking for here is that the actual belt is contacting in this position here, okay? So when it comes off its main drive sprocket here, it doesn't start contacting until down here on the chain itself. Now the rubber will get some wear in it over time, as does the chain itself, but it's not the rubber we're too concerned about, it's the actual chain contacting in this area down here. So that's just a very, very quick check that I'm always making sure. Of course, we're always checking our skirting rubber to ensure that the skirting rubber is in good condition as well. While we're at the front, we're checking the radiator and the air cooler as well to ensure there's no debris, no damage to it, no leaks or anything like that. This is also where we will find the coolant checkpoint for the radiator. You will find a rubber flap in underneath here, and in here is our coolant. This is where we can check it in here. I've already checked it this morning, but that's the checkpoint. Coming around the front, one of the things I really am always very conscious of is our hoses, okay? We always want to make sure that none of the protection over the hoses is damaged, because this is always constantly moving here, okay? Want to make sure that everything's secure, no oil leaks, no drips out of any of the bulkheads down here, and also out of our slew drive as well. We want to make sure that there's no issues with that, no leaks, you'll always get some grease in and around here. This is quite normal. Checking our drive for our placing conveyor as well. Again, no leaks, everything's in its place and where it should be. Make sure there's no debris up in under here and no damage to our skirting at the front. Coming around to this side of the machine, we find our toolbox. Now in the toolbox is where you will find your radio remote. Okay, that's where you can store it overnight. We've got our deflector plate in here, we've got our fire extinguisher, we've got tooling and basic tooling just to do the little minor adjustments that we need to in the field. Also in underneath here is where we will find the engine oil dipstick. That's where we will check that. Our hose reel, this is for our high pressure wash system, which is for cleaning the tractor after it's done, or cleaning the slinger. Just want to make sure that there's no damage to that, and it's secured as well. Very, very important. Checking our super shield, this is our, basically for the novice amongst us, or the people that aren't quite used to this, we're checking that this is a compaction conveyor, for want of a better word. It helps pack the material onto our placing belt. So again, while it's in this position, we're just looking up that there's no damage to anything in underneath here. This is obviously a brand new unit, so we wouldn't expect to find anything. But again, we should be checking it, along with any of our rollers, just making sure that our V-rollers are all in good condition, and there's no damage to anything along here, you know. Our return rollers at the bottom, is everything okay with them? Are they running? Fuel tank, we do have a fuel gauge over on the engine control panel, but it's always good to ensure that there's no debris around the filler, which is a breather style filler, and no damage to our sender unit. We also have a good vision in underneath here to our hydraulic pumps, so main hydraulic pumps. We want to make sure that there's no oil leaks underneath there. Good telltale, especially on hard ground like this, we can check whether there is any oil that's stripped down overnight underneath the unit itself. Another emergency stop, making sure that that is in the out position and not in the stop position. We're checking our tyres as well, again, making sure there's no cuts, damage of any kind. No air leaks as well, I mean, just a bigger problem as well. This is our level cylinder for the levelling of the body to the main frame. I'm always checking that this is secure and there is no damage to this. We have had in the past some little issues where some guys weren't keeping a good eye on it, and a couple of things came loose and started rubbing and hitting, and of course we had to replace the cylinder then. So I'm just checking that everything in there is in the is how it should be. No oil leaks, all the lines are secure and everything is okay in that respect. There's not much that we can check other than that everything is secure on our adjusters for the main placing belt. So just something to keep an eye on as well. Again, this is something that we picked up this morning, that we do have a loose adjusting bolt here, which we will fix straight away. But that is an adjuster. We just want to make sure that that's all tight as well for the main feed floor on the tractor. Now, CAS, as they always do, are always improving the equipment. This little addition to the tractor is one of the most versatile pieces of equipment on the machine, if you ask me. We can quickly, easily and safely, 3-point contacts, get up to have a look inside the body. All we're looking for in here, we're looking to make sure that all the skirting rubber is in order. There's no issues with any debris that someone has thrown into the body overnight that could cause a problem on our project site. So very, very simple little addition, but I tell you what, geez, it really, really helps. So just have a quick look in there. It'll save you in the long run if someone's thrown a rock or something silly in there because you've come onto the job site and you're saving them money, and someone doesn't like that. And that's about it for our walk around. There's nothing on this machine other than some of the little idiosyncrasies with the emergency stops and things like that that is any different from a walk around on any kind of earth moving equipment. You're looking for leaks, you're checking the vitals before you start your shift, and you're making sure that there is no damage or any debris to any of your cooling systems at all. So that's our standard walk around on the CAS AT7.